rabbit, and that's coniglio in Italian. And here's rabbit that I just have marinating in some water and lemon juice, and I do this overnight, especially if I'm using wild rabbit, because then that takes away some of the gamey flavor of the rabbit. So you do that overnight. If you're using domestic rabbit, well, then you don't have to do that. Then the next day, you dry off the rabbit, and you want to brown that, as I'm doing in a pan here, with some olive oil and pancetta. So for about 3 pounds of rabbit, you want about 1/4 cup of olive oil and about 2/3 of a cup of diced pancetta. And for those of you who don't know what pancetta is, it's Italian bacon. You just want an onion, 1 onion, that you just want to slice up, you see, into thin slices. And I like to use white onion for this because I think this has a nice milder flavor. So put that in. So 1 white onion goes in. I'm going to add a little bit more that I have sliced up here. And let those wilt down a little bit. You want those to get soft. And then later on, I'll be adding some garlic with that. So I'm going to let my onion go now for a few minutes. And rabbit is something that is liked very well in Italy, and it's eaten really in the north and in the south. And I'm going to add about 2 cloves of garlic that have just been minced up. So in goes the garlic. And with that, I like to have some tomatoes. Now remember, it's a winter meal, so you may not be able to find fresh tomatoes, but here are some plum tomatoes. And if you can't find fresh tomatoes, well, then you can use canned tomatoes. And all you want to do is peel about 2½ cups. I'm going to put this in now with the onions. And it's looking beautiful already. I can hardly wait to eat this. So that's that. Now, later on, I'm going to give that a little bit of sage, fresh sage, just like we added to the polenta. But with the tomatoes, I'm going to add some wine. And here you want about 1/4 to 1/2 cup of dry white wine with this. And then some red wine vinegar, about 3 tablespoons or so. I like vinegar in this dish because I think this kind of binds all of the flavors together. I'm going to just let this cook for about 5 minutes or so. And then some coarse salt and some pepper go in with this. And actually, you could make this the day before. It is time to put in the sage. And here you want about 2 tablespoons of fresh sage, and I think that that's a very nice woodsy flavor and something that really complements the rabbit. That's salvia in Italian. And now we can add back the rabbit pieces. So in goes the rabbit and the pancetta and any of the drippings that are on your plate. You want to put all of that back into the pan. And now this is ready to go into the oven. So we want to cover that now. And your oven is on 350 degrees. I'm going to turn this off now. You want to cook this just until the rabbit is tender, about 25 or 30 minutes. And it isn't going to take very long. I left a dirty pan in there last night. All right, now there's that polenta. Do you believe that I hauled this all the way from New York? And what am I going to do with that? Well, my rabbit is going to be served on top of the polenta. And so again, all I want to do is put a little bit of olive oil in a frying pan, heat that up, and then do what the Italians do with polenta. Get a wire and go underneath the polenta and across, you see? And just cut yourself some slices like that. And if you didn't want that large a slice, well, then you could cut them in pieces like that. Isn't that beautiful? And that's going to be fried in our oil as soon as that's heated. So I'm going to let that heat up. Let's see, on the polenta, I'll just fry up a couple slices for you. So you just take it like that. I like that old wire trick. It's kind of fun and very traditional.